from 9.
A little something for the weekend with Sam Hunt.
He's hunkering down, is old Sam. G'day to you, Sam.
Hello, Wammo.
How are you?
Good, thank you. Good. I like that song I just heard the last bit of there down the phone.
Yeah, that was Stevie Starr with his. It's almost a wee protest song against the Auckland super city structure.
Hey, very good. I'd like to hear that.
Yeah.
Would I be able to on our now fixed computer,
Yeah.
which got struck by lightning last week, by the way?
Oh, did it?
Too right. I got struck by lightning too.
Oh, because that's happened before, isn't it? You've had lightning come down the fireplace.
Yeah, we did. I'd forgotten that. No, it's quite a regular occurrence around here.
Yeah. But you came out the other side all right, though.
Well, your computer's okay. It needed a bit of counselling.
Yeah, no doubt.
It needed a bit of counselling. A friend of mine came round and he sort of talked to it quietly for a while.
Have you got those surge protectors going on around the house?
Oh, something I don't know what happened. Well, I won't bore you with it. But I'll tell you what I have been knocked out by. I mean, lightning's one thing, but this week I've come across a poet who's just published her first book of poems. She's a New Zealander. She spent time in England. Did a PhD, I think, there. Her name's Sarah Broom.
Broom,
as in a witch's broom.
Yeah.
And she is well. Put it this way, I'll tell you what, Wammo. I'm sort of these days getting about maybe half a dozen books of volumes of verse, maybe a week from publishers or sometimes poets who would like to get a mention on our 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, now and again something grabs you by the throat and won't let go. And the title of this book, published by Auckland University Press, and also jointly, doubly being published in England by Castanet, who are top poetry publishers, and it's called Tigers at Awhitu. At Awhitu, that's the south heads of the Manukau Harbour, isn't it?
Yeah.
The Awhitu Peninsula.
Yeah.
Something which I was given just a quick bit of background. It seems to be relevant. I mean, it is relevant. The poems are incredible before and after the diagnosis. But in 2008, February 2008, Sarah Broom was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer when she was 29 months. Sorry, months. not an elephant. 29 weeks pregnant with her third child. Her daughter was born safely at 30 weeks. 2 years later, after a lot of treatment, she apparently the cancer's sort of quite stable.
Good.
But let me just read you a few of her poems. This is one called Displacement. The book's in 2 parts. Strongly, I've never so strongly in my life and in my broadcast I've never more strongly suggested people go out and check this book out.
Wow, that's saying something as well. Yeah.
She's good. I've never heard of her before. She just published this book. Yeah. Listen to this. This is quite a short one called Displacement. This was pre this awful knowledge, this diagnosis, where she incidentally was given by the people. She was given weeks or months to live. At 29 years old, 30. Displacement. Like that time when my son called out to me, and my reply caught and died, gorse choked in my throat, and I heard a voice somewhere in the house answer in my stead, a voice like mine, but harder, rougher, more real than me, and I felt ghostly, supplanted, insubstantial, and had to steady the lurch inside me before trying out my voice and my step, like a miner standing in rubble and darkness, testing each limb and tasting the dust on his lips.
Golly, yeah.
Yeah, she's good.
Powerful stuff.
Have a listen to this one. This one is, I don't want to be melodramatic, but it's sort of interesting because a lot of the poems prior to her diagnosis tell so strongly of something, there's some incredible poems. There are a couple I can't read here this morning because they just totally break me up. Listen to this one, though. It's a beautiful little one, if it's beautiful and frightening. It's called What the Wind Does. It hunts through the forest of mangrove roots, and what else does the wind do? It tosses flecks of foam along the sand, and what else does the wind do? It licks my bald head with a cold tongue, and what else does the wind do? It lunges and whines under the overturned dinghy, and what else does the wind do? It shows me how much air is in the world, and what else does the wind do? It ruffles the chest feathers of the strutting gull, and what else does the wind do? It whips around my face and tells me not to die. Yep.
Blimey.
She is so, just like I say, I'll read you another one before I depart, because I'd like to. I know it's fitting a lot of poems, but they're worth it. In fact, another hard job was deciding what ones for this morning,
Yeah, what ones to keep out, yeah.
What ones not to do. I'm looking right across at one now called Not Yet, Not Now. But right opposite it is this one of the last in the book. In fact, it's the second to last poem in the book. It's called Because the World Can Do That to You. I should say, so she has three children, and the third was the one that was born, at the time that she learned she had cancer, stage 4 lung cancer. Never smoked, she says that in a little note. Because the world can do that to you. And if the world did do that to you, and took me from you before the time was true and right, and before we all had time to see the things and do the things and tell the things we need to tell, to see, to do, so many things I cannot even imagine them. Because you're only 6, and your mind is crowded with soccer and cricket and deep-sea life, with nights and Narnia and the thermohaline conveyor. And when you were 5, you cried inconsolably for 45 minutes when the All Blacks lost. And already when you read, you cannot hear my voice, and you are fierce and deep, and I am afraid of you. And because you are only 2 3/4, and your heart is full of trains and racing cars and tigers and tigers and dinosaurs, and when you jump into the pool with your water wings on, your face explodes with surprise and joy every single time, and you are tough and resilient and cheeky as hell, but you still need to know where I am about every 3 minutes. And because you're only nearly 1, and your mind is full of God knows what, sticky things, shiny things, soft things, loud things, faces and brothers and chuckles and screams, and every time you lie drinking your bottle by yourself, I think of all the times I wasn't there, of how they rushed you into life, like there wasn't enough time in the world, which there isn't sometimes. So if the world did do that to you and took me from you before the time was right, it was true and right, and before we all had time to do the things we need to do, to fight more and laugh more and be bored together over and over, to ease into the big questions slowly, not all at once, not like that, like a trapdoor opening up under your feet and a sickening drop. But if the world did do that to you, I have to think that you would be all right after all. So that is Sarah Brune's Tigers at Our Feet. And so I know it's a little something for the weekend.
It's very fitting on this morning, I think, around the country.
It's a little something for the weekend. It's a big something for the weekend. And thank you, Sarah Broom, if you happen to be listening. Can I just reply with a little 4-liner, which was sort of, I think, came in directly maybe from living with these poems for the last few. So here's a very new one, said for you all, and one for the weekend, as it were, and to Sarah Broom and the Tigers at Our Feet. This one's called Chord 47, just 4 lines. Letters from friends lately dead, piled up on the big table, unanswered but answerable, not today, but some other. So that won't be today, maybe tomorrow.
Indeed. Sam Hunt, a little something for the weekend.
Hey, thank you, Wammo. You have a good weekend.
You too.
Yeah, good to talk to you.
See ya.
See ya.
That was a little something for the weekend with Sam Hunt, only on Kiwi FM. The Radio Wammo Breakfast.